All right, here we go. This is Robert Nerney.
And Jason Pacheco.
And we are your hosts of Road to Real Estate, a podcast about real estate, small business, and the independent spirit. Today's guest is CJ Moss from Moss Home Solutions. Thanks for stopping by, CJ.
Absolutely.
CJ and his wife Beth operate a real estate company with a focus on off-market deals. As a way of introduction, can you tell us a little bit about coaching basketball in Kuwait?
Yeah, I mean that's a cool place to start. So I got this opportunity straight out of college. I go over there. I didn't know what I was getting myself into, but I was just excited about a totally new experience. I didn't know what I wanted to do in my life. You know, I was a biology major, but had no interest in biology. So I was a
bio major too.
Were you really?
Yeah, like for 10 years.
So yeah, I get over there 2016, and I didn't know the level of talent. I didn't know how interested these kids were going to be. Like at the time, I just looked at everything on my own eyes. I was like, we're going to drill, we're going to get after it, you know. And once I got there, I realized I'm teaching 4-year-olds how to dribble.
Oh, wow.
You know, all the way up to really like the national team, high-level players,
wow.
Everywhere in between. And it was just hour-long drill sessions, training sessions. It was awesome. Like that was a lot of fun, getting to know a different culture. I had incredible coaches there with me. I had this kid Brandon who played at Syracuse, and he opened my world. He introduced me to his friends. Like he got me into podcasts. He got me into books. He got me into spirituality. Like
nice.
It's actually pretty interesting. Looking at you and talking to you, you reminded me a little bit of an older Brandon. Kind of a free spirit.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know if I'm on or I'm off here.
Yeah, no, you're probably right on.
But it was an incredible experience.
That's cool. So you that's interesting. So was it a private organization that hired you, or is it kind of like you said, the national team also?
So basically, Hoop Mountain is it's a franchise that this guy Steve Gibbs created in Boston, in Peabody, and he got really big at it. And then this guy Mossad in Kuwait, who went to Harvard, fell in love with the Celtics, and he's like, I got to bring basketball to Kuwait. Super wealthy guy. So we contacted Steve, he bought a franchise, and then Steve said, listen, CJ, I need coaches over there, man. I need guys that I can trust who are going to run this thing properly. Yeah. So I met Mossad one day in Boston at a hotel. We talked about the opportunity, and I was like, dude, let's do it.
Oh, that's awesome.
You know what's cool? That reminds me of, maybe 8 years ago now, a good friend of mine was a wrestler. We were young. And there's an organization in Providence called Beat the Streets.
Yep.
And it's like an after-school program where kids can pick a sport and people go in and coach these kids. So that'd be cool if you did like Beat the Streets instead of after-school programs, give back to the community of Providence.
That'd be very cool.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
I'm down. I'll be with you.
If you're alive still, Rob.
That's true. Good point.
So how long did that last again? I don't know if you answered that.
No, that was about a year and a half. And honestly, it was the perfect amount of time. Because I got the culture, I learned a lot while I was over there. That's what I learned about real estate, just listening to podcasts and stuff. But I started to get burned out because the Kuwaiti kids, the culture over there, in general, I'm generalizing for sure, but a lot of them are entitled. Like a lot of them don't want to work hard, at least at the sport. And I was like, guys, we're drilling every day. Like, I'm coming from that mentality. Like, we're going to get after and run suicide. These kids are like, dude, I'm coming to mess around, right?
Now entitled because of the wealth?
The wealth.
It's crazy.
Bananas. Everyone's got multiple nannies. You know, they can do no wrong. I'd kick a kid out of class, and over there's something called WASTA. WASTA is basically power and influence. So I kicked this kid out who's a nightmare. He's just a nightmare. He just ruins every class for kids, right? So I said, dude, you can never come back. His dad comes in, talks to the owner, and the owner's like, CJ, he has to come back. The guy's got too much power in the country.
That's crazy.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So now an 11-year-old is essentially running my class.
No, and that's the culture too. Like it may be there, but also here, I talked about teaching, that it's like the balance has shifted so that these young voices are actually in charge. You're like, well, what happened here?
Dude, you
that's
can't
what I see.
teach someone like discipline and respect when you're doing stuff like that. So I was ready to come back.
That's cool. So year and a half?
Year and a half.
All right. And you said the podcast kind of will open that little door to real estate? Right?
Yeah. I was exploring different real estate podcasts or just like business or really personal development podcasts.
Were you trying to figure out what you were interested in doing when you knew you wanted to come back?
Yeah. Somehow I stumbled, I think, across Bigger Pockets. Yeah. And I was like, okay, I gotta invest. That's how I'm gonna obtain financial freedom. And I don't want to work for anyone. I just want to build my own wealth.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So when did you start Moss Home?
Officially started 2019.
Okay. And when did you get back from Kuwait?
2017. So there was a gap. Honestly, this was a challenge because my wife came back. She was a kindergarten teacher over there.
You were married when you were there?
No, we weren't married. So we met over there.
Wait, oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we dated
Wow.
for a year and a half in Kuwait. Awesome. I met all these incredible British people. Like, that's really what made my time there. And then I tore my ACL.
Oh.
I had to come back for surgery, and I said, "Listen, bro, I'm done. Like, I don't want to come back. Are we committed? Like, and if we're committed, you got to come to America and figure this thing out."
You said, let's go back and start Moss Home Solutions.
Yeah.
So we came back, and the only way she could stay in the country, because after 90-day visa, it's over. She had to become an au pair, essentially a nanny, working for a family in Duxbury, making $200 a week. That's how she stayed in this country, and she lived there Monday through Friday.
Oh, wow.
So for the first year and a half, I was living in Providence. She was living in Duxbury. You know, tough transition. My wife's strong. Like, for her to deal with that, she was making good money in Kuwait. Had all of her friends that she comes over here. She knows no one, and she's making $200 a week. And that's kind of how it started for that year and a half.
Have you been back?
No, dude, but I want to go back.
Yeah.
Oh, you do?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like the memories, the things we did together. Like,
That's cool.
The places we visited. It was cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so was her family or was she into real estate at all at that point?
No.
Anything?
No, dude, not at all. Like,
Kindergarten teacher.
yeah, she was a kindergarten
Really? Yeah.
teacher.
Oh, so I
Yeah.
can relate.
Yeah,
It's a different world. It's a whole different world. You know what I
totally
mean?
different. And she would honestly, the things that we chatted about beforehand, about like having to do the evaluations and like you want to teach, but then you have all these other things that pull you away from that.
Yeah.
She dealt with the same thing at that Kuwait school. She was done.
Yeah, it's too bad. A lot of good people. It's just too much, you know?
Yeah.
So I guess how did you both begin to get on that same page that real estate could change your life? When did that thought happen? How did it happen? Did you both watch a podcast together?
I knew it over there, and I think that like we just influenced each other. We were just talking about it constantly, but she wasn't as into it. She didn't know anything about real estate. And then I came back and I bought a 2-family in Providence.
Where'd you buy it?
I bought it on Carolina Avenue, which is in Washington Park area.
Yeah.
So we bought a couple over there in those like State Street areas.
Yeah.
Because I'd saved some money, put it down on the property, and then was like broke. Because you put down 25%, like you're broke.
Yeah, forget it. It's way too much.
Right, way too much.
Yeah, what is that about?
But and that's kind of what led me into the wholesaling, because I was like, dude, I need cash. Like these multifamilies produce $0 essentially.
Was
Like,
that property on market or off?
on market?
On market,
I bought it
yeah.
from Kyle.
Did you?
Didn't know this dude, Kyle Stevens, right?
Yeah.
Just called and was like, dude, I saw this. It was a duplex for $253, brand new renovation. Like at the time, 2017, that was like a high price. And bought it, and things kind of started from there.
Cool.
That's good. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Now, go ahead.
Do you still have the property?
No, I saw that.
No.
Yeah.
Did you make out?
Oh yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, we
yeah.
sold it for like 350, 360 something. Like things have just appreciated. But I've kind of realized in my real estate journey that 2 families, 3 families, 4 families, they just don't perform.
That's what Walter said.
Right.
Walter King was on the podcast, and he said that's not really where you want to put your efforts. You know what I mean?
No, I think it's awesome for like house hacking. I'm sure people actually build up long-term portfolios like that, but I found that the 5+ units perform better. They don't perform great, but they perform better.
Yeah, cool. So you got yourself into a property and you're back and you realized you're broke.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where the wholesaling started. That's where the flame started. So tell us what was your education experience like at that point? Were you scared, nervous? Did you have someone that was wholesaling that you knew next to you that was like a mentor that you could go to if you needed? Or
I took a course called Wholesaling Inc., a direct mail marketing course.
Oh, yeah. I saw that video.
Yeah, from this guy, Cody Hoffine, who's my mentor today.
So was he the one that he was on your goals setting thing with the Rhode Island Investor
Yeah.
Group? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This guy's incredible. Like, for some reason, the Mormons in Utah are just like phenomenal business people.
Oh,
and
really?
I swear to God. And they're just like killer. They're killer at business, and they just have great morals and values.
Yeah, they have strong morals. Danny Ainge.
Yeah.
He's a good Mormon.
But yeah, I took his course. I didn't know him. We didn't know each other personally. And he was just like, this is what you do. This is how you send out direct mail, and this is how you talk to a seller, and you do these things. And I just ignorantly or naively I just did it. I didn't overthink it. I just
You're
did it.
better off.
Yeah.
Now, was that in person or was that through the computer? What
Computer.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I spent $5,000 on it, and they were like, put this much into direct mail and just do it. You'll get calls. This is how you speak to a seller. This is how you analyze a deal. And I just did all the steps.
And that was your full-time job at that point?
I guess. I
Right,
mean, like
yeah.
I was.
Like, did you have a part-time job or anything at all? Was that
No,
your-
dude. I was.
Yeah.
This was the A plan, the only plan,
Right.
the one plan. Like,
That's the best.
I think that's the only way to do it.
No, I know, that's the best. I was watching a video with you and your wife, Beth, and you were talking about this, and you you had sent out a bunch of direct mail, and then you were like, you were broke.
Yeah.
And you said, Beth, we got to do it one more time.
Yeah.
And then you got a deal for like 15,000.
Exactly, because if you have a plan, I was listening to something this morning, literally this book this morning, really good book, Diary of a CEO. Have you guys ever heard that podcast?
No.
It's a really good podcast.
I picked up the book Traction that you were talking
Yeah,
about.
Traction.
Yeah, midway through it. It's a good book, yeah.
It's,
So Traction's a book. What's that?
Traction is more of like if you're an entrepreneur running a business, Traction is good. It's dry. It's not going to be like this exciting book, but it's a good operating book. Diary of a CEO, very good. And they talk about how people who have Plan Bs have a much less or a much lower success rate than people who just have Plan As because you're all in. Your chips are all in. But if you have one foot out the door, and with me, I was managing our properties. You know, we basically what we did to make the cash flow work is we took all these rentals in Washington Park, and you know where Eaton Street is?
Of course.
Near PC.
You bought places over there?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Because now one company owns like the whole world over there.
yeah, 02908 Club.
Yeah, yeah.
And they actually sold that thing. They sold the company.
Oh, they did?
I think to a private equity group.
Okay.
But we started renting by the bedrooms to college kids because that's the only way I could make the cash flow work, which was a management nightmare, but it made the numbers work.
Right. That's good money.
So that's what we did at the same time while we started wholesaling.
Cool. So I guess those early stages were just following the script of the course you took.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
And how was it?
Dude, it was tough, man. Like
Yeah.
and starting any business is like a wicked challenge, and you don't know anything. So basically, all you're doing is just like failing forward. You make a mistake, you learn from your mistake, you keep doing it, you have a little success. But I think doing it with Beth was really helpful for me because we could encourage each other. She get off a tough phone call. I remember Beth. I swear to God, she's the best salesperson I've ever met. Like killer. I call her the empathetic killer because she connects with people. They're like, you're my guardian angel. I need to work with you. She doesn't care about money. Like we'll go in on a home and the seller says, I want $215 for this house. She'll be like, I got to give you $230. You know what I mean?
She's a kindergarten teacher, of course, dude. You know what I mean? So-
She has to.
Yeah.
But back then, she'd get off calls crying because she'd be so nervous. She'd never talked to someone before. And at least I was there to kind of encourage her and say, hey, boo, you got this. Like, let's keep going.
Yeah,
And
cold
vice
calling
versa.
is a nightmare. Yeah.
I guess, I mean, a decent topic to talk about now is the cold calling stuff going on. What's the news that you hear about? Because I feel like I keep hearing a bunch of different things about you can't cold call or now it's paused, but you can cold call, but it can't be automated. It can't be on the do not call list and all this stuff. Do you have any idea of what's happening with that?
I do. It's a tough question. You know, basically what we do is at this point in the game, I think there are kind of like levels to the game, right? We're the company that's everywhere. We're on the billboards, we're on the TV, and we're trying to do things the right way. And we've actually recently, it's kind of weird how this happened. We've always done inbound marketing. So inbound marketing is, you know, your TV, radio, pay-per-click, billboards. You're kind of getting in front of sellers, and then they're contacting you. Versus outbound, which is your cold calling, your door knocking and stuff. We've never done cold calling, but now we implemented cold calling like a month before
Oh, wow.
this thing came out, right? And we have an attorney on retainer, and basically all he does is investigate this stuff for us and say, hey, CJ, you can do this, you can't do this. We want to be above board, and we know to be above board, we have to do things 100% right, just because we are in the spotlight.
Right. No, that makes complete sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then in the wholesale space, maybe, I'm sure it's changed over time, but you said attorneys in your network. So who are some must-have people in your network if you want to be at the beginner stage and then at your level?
You know, at the beginner stage, I just say don't get caught up, man.
Yeah.
Just take action.
Yeah.
Like people get so caught up with like, I need this, I need that, I need this, I need that. A lot of it's procrastination because you're nervous about just doing stuff.
Right.
That's a fact.
Right? But like, just go get some deals, man.
Right.
That's all I say to start.
And the best way, drive for dollars, you think? If you're just brand new.
It depends your personality type. If you're someone who's like super outgoing and charismatic, dude, go door knock. Just pick one avenue and do it. Like, what it could be drive for dollars, and then you send out direct mail. It could be get a pre-foreclosure list. Get a pre-foreclosure list and door knock everyone on that list. That's like you spend $0 and you're gonna get right in front of a motivated seller. But I think that people really complicate things and they do a lot of research as a way of procrastination. Eventually, fast forward, you need attorneys and you need all these things in your corner. But just to start, just pick something and commit to it.
What's going on, everyone? So when I'm not podcasting, I'm in real estate, and there's a lot of times where I need to, refer out an excavator, someone to do clean outs, gravel, grading, digging, stuff like that, junk removal. So if any of you ever need any of that type of work taken care of, reach out to Tom at Legacy Excavating at 401-227-5399. Reach out to Tom. He'll take care of you. Back to the show.
That's it. Just keep doing it.
Just do it.
Stick with it.
Just say, like, I will do 10 door knocks a day, every single day, forever. And you'll rip deals.
That's amazing.
Dude, I can't get myself to door knock.
Dude, it might
It's
not be your
tough.
personality, bro.
Yeah.
I started door hangers. That's
Yeah.
now I have to.
That's a softer approach.
Yeah.
I just have to approach the house now. Now I'll door knock, but off a list. You're saying like pre-foreclosure or water shuttle.
Because
or something.
someone's motivated and they need help.
Yeah,
Like
no,
that
absolutely.
pre-foreclosure list. What I've noticed with people, it's called the ostrich effect. Is when people put their head in the sand to avoid a problem, the problem gets big and hairy and angry, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that pre-foreclosure problem, dude, people have pride. They're scared. They're nervous. They don't want to tell their family. Like we've had people that have called us 2 days left before our auction. I just couldn't bring myself to tell my family, and then we're scrambling to try to save this deal.
Yeah.
But
Right.
Before it goes to auction.
before it goes to auction, and
Yeah.
then they'll still get paid. People don't know this. Like, you're gonna get paid because whatever the bank is owed and the attorney fees, that they're gonna get paid first. You get everything else on top of that.
Okay.
But you get smoked. Your credit gets smoked. You can't buy a house for another 70 years. Like, there's other options.
So what is some interesting, you saw a lot of situations, but some on the lighter side, you don't have to get to the personal stuff, but things you've seen in homes. Any?
I'm trying to think about it. A lot of this stuff is like, it's honestly, it's a little sad
Yeah.
how people live. It truly is. Like, we've been a lot of hoarder situations. I don't know what the I'm sure it's a mental illness.
Right.
I see, like, feces everywhere.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
we see bad stuff. People are like, why would anyone ever sell a house without a realtor? It makes no sense. Well, you don't see these situations.
Right.
Mold infested places.
Mm-hmm.
People who own properties where tenants run it, they don't pay rent. And this person's got a mortgage. And maybe this person's more reserved and has like violent tenants. We deal with that type of stuff. So it's just like, dude, you name it, we've seen it.
Right. And over the time, I guess, like I feel wholesaling to me, I've been in real estate for 7 years. It's maybe been 3 years since I've heard the term and got to understand it pretty well. It's kind of got hot, I'd say.
Yeah.
So how has it changed? Do you feel it changed at all, the way things are done or whatever in the space?
I think that there are some businesses that have become incredibly professional doing it.
Yeah.
I'm part of this group. It's called the Collective Genius. And you have to have a certain amount of deal flow or revenue to be a part of it.
Oh, wow. Yep.
So I'm with the top wholesalers in the country.
Wow.
I'm talking about monsters that run organizations.
Yeah.
This isn't like the ragtag dude that's trying to With wholesaling, I think it's a hot topic because people think that you can make a lot of cash really fast. And I think that's where you get a lot of bad eggs because people aren't honest with sellers. People don't even care about buyers. Like, dude, you need to treat your sellers right, and you need to give buyers really good quality deals for you to run a repeatable business.
Mm-hmm.
So I think wholesaling, it attracts people that try to make quick cash, but the people that survive and grow big businesses, dude, they're just like business owners.
Right.
And that's the one thing I say, like, not trying to be cocky here, but I could easily just turn this around to a roofing company or siding company or any company. It's just the same thing. We're a sales and marketing company. We just happen to wholesale real estate.
Right.
But it could be anything.
Yeah, and have you ever had that urge to start something else?
No.
No.
I mean, like, dude, you got to be disciplined as a
Right.
business owner. so many business, especially today, there's so many shiny objects. Like,
Yeah.
you look at your phone and you just see new stuff 24/7. I want to try this. I want to try that. I want to try this. Dude, if you're like a horse with these blinders on and you just become an expert at your craft, I'm like, if I'm an NBA player, I'm not trying to play baseball because I'm
point,
done
yeah.
now. You know,
Right.
dude, I'm gonna be the best at what I do.
Right.
And you know, in this collective genius group, if you make over a certain amount of dollars, you're in the CEO level, right? My company, there's only 32 companies in the country that are in that CEO level, and my company's not in that level yet. So instead of me trying to start a different business, I'm like, dude, I'm gonna get in that level, and then I'm gonna try to become the best in that level, and just keep getting better and better.
Is there like a secret handshake? Not
Maybe
yet.
I'll learn.
Not
I
yet.
don't know it.
Something, right? Who knows?
Yeah.
Let's go back to your direct mailing. So I saw a video last night or 2 nights ago, and it said that you guys send out 8,500 every Friday. Is that true?
No, it's 50,000 every Friday.
50,000?
50,000?
Oh my God, that's awesome.
And you said one person does that. She's in charge of it or something?
No, it's our director of operations. Like, we're at the scale now. We have to buy data. You know, so we buy data. They give us like 200,000 addresses every month or whatever, based off of sellers in certain counties that are most likely to sell. We submit it to the direct mail company. It's a company called All the Answers, little mom and pop shop out of Rhode Island. Awesome. And
They're pumping them out for you?
dude, they pump them, bro, by
Yeah.
the pallet. Like,
Yeah.
these are like pallets and truckloads.
Yeah.
Honestly, we started like
50,000 every week?
every week. It's like 200,000 a month.
And do you have a goal to go even higher with that?
Well, at some point,
That's
first off, there's only so many houses in Rhode
yes,
Island.
right.
Have you guys got my mail yet?
I have
You
not.
have?
Yeah.
I have too.
Yeah.
Because at some point, like,
Right.
dude, you can only have so much mail.
Right.
So I think we've hit the law of diminishing returns.
Okay.
We'll probably stay at 50 and then try to figure out other channels.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That's
But
awesome.
you said it's definitely worth it. You definitely get a return on it.
Oh, the return is there all day. I mean,
Yeah.
that direct mail is my number one.
Before cold calling?
Well, I just started it.
So
what-
really, it's just, I mean,
But what about this click? What would you say the click? It's like the Google stuff.
Yeah, pay-per-click.
Expensive but works. I heard.
Expensive but works. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
and what is that about?
Basically, like, if you type in anything, you know, the first 3 results on Google, or the first so many, you'll see the little word ads next to it. That's paid ads. I'm paying to be the top ranked result.
Okay.
Right. So if you're in Providence and you type in "sell my house fast for cash,"
Yep.
if my guy's doing the job he's supposed to be doing, Moss Home Solutions should be popping up number 1.
Okay.
And then when they click that might cost me $500 every time a click happens.
You
And
pay
then
for the click.
I pay for the click.
Wow.
And then we have to develop the sales funnel to actually want them to put their information in, and then call them, pray they pick up, call them a lot. If they don't pick up, keep calling more, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
So let's go to the beginners now, listening and wanting and watching you and wanting to pick up some value here. So what are some non-negotiables, things you got to be doing if their goal is to wholesale one deal this year? Give them a kind of a rough day. If they wanted to pencil in like a Monday, what should they do on a given Monday?
I would say just keep it really simple, guys. Do not overcomplicate it. Give me where do they live?
They live in Warwick,
Pawtucket.
Pawtucket.
Let's go Pawtucket. Pawtucket's
Okay.
great. Go down to the city hall and go and say, I want a list of every single code violation property in Pawtucket, and then go to the tax collector and say, I want a list of everyone who hasn't paid taxes in more than a year. You're going to have people that have distressed properties.
And they'll give you that information?
You can
Yeah.
actually pull it online, I think, now.
In,
Since COVID, right?
in some cities
Yeah.
that are more technologically advanced because they have more people, like Providence and Pawtucket, you can. Burrville, you're not pulling what's
Yeah,
online.
right.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
But go down there, get that list, and then door knock 10 people a day, every day.
Right.
Or send out 10 letters.
Right.
You'll get deals. You'll
Yeah.
get more than a deal a month.
Yeah. Okay.
For
That's
sure.
amazing,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah. Just simplify it and then just commit to, like, it's like training or lifting or anything you do in life. If you just say, I will commit to doing this amount of tasks every day. I'm staring at, this made me so happy right now. I walked in here today. Consistency.
Yeah.
That's
no,
all.
Right.
That's all I preach to my team. Like, we have the 4 pillars of consistent excellence in my company, and I talk about it every day. I don't need massive results. I want consistent excellence, and if you just commit to these consistent acts every day, get a list from a town. door knock these 10 people, and you just do boring action every day, you'll get big results.
I like that. Boring action.
Boring action, baby. That's it.
Yeah.
It's life.
Yeah.
That's an interesting. I went to a personal trainer yesterday, and he gave me just these little, like 2 exercises. He goes, just do those 2 for the, keep working out, but do those 2 for the next 3 weeks. It wasn't like he didn't give me 15. He's like, no. It's very, like you just said, stay focused.
It's almost like just getting the discipline down of just doing it, and then it's like the compounding effect in investing. Your results won't happen day one. They're going to happen like year 25 or 30 or whatever.
That's a book too, The Compound Effect.
Is it?
Yeah, I just started reading that. Let me ask you this though. So you pull the list, you knock on 10 doors, and then what do you do the rest of the day? You just drink?
No, I mean, if you have more time, a great list that I love is the Drive for Dollar list.
So go and drive.
Go and drive, get some properties. Like you got to figure out what are my revenue generating activities. And I would say door knocking, cold calling, getting lists. You got to be talking to people.
Yeah, no,
talking to sellers.
Right.
If you're not talking to a seller, you got a problem. And if you're creating busy work, that's a problem. It's not going to make you money.
Right. Now you found that deal, right? So is there a simple light equation the beginners can watch where they have a house and now they need to run some numbers? The sellers are open to selling. Is there something they can do, like go on Zillow, get this estimate, do a little equation, try and be around this number? Just generic?
I would say, what's the after repair value? I've always done it. I've always comped it properly. I don't really go off this estimate. But does everyone know what after repair value is?
Yeah. But might as well explain it.
Yeah. So when it's beautiful, what's a flip gonna look like when this thing's got quartz countertops and nice backsplashes and refinished hardwoods or whatever? So let's say that's $400,000, right? You multiply it by 0.75. That's gonna get you down to 300, and then you're gonna subtract your rehab costs. So let's say it needs $50,000 worth of work to get to that ARV. Now you're down to 250. You want to be around that 250 price for an offer, because your investors are gonna want to buy it around that 75% mark. Or the 80% mark, with repairs.
Makes sense.
Well, let's go back to basketball for another question. Okay, so I played, like I said, in high school. I was a point guard, and so I knew one of my best games ever. Back in the day, if you didn't score, you didn't get in the box score, or it might just be 0-0-0, whatever. And we didn't. I played before the 3, and there was no clock.
There was no clock?
No.
Oh wow.
The clock came in the 80s, I think. And there was a peach basket. No, but so one of my best games ever was a playoff game. I had like 12 assists, no points. I shot like once or twice. Tell me, does playing point have anything to do with your success today? Is there any relationship between playing point guard and being the head of a company?
That's an awesome question. Definitely.
Yeah.
You're the leader. You're the general.
Right.
And also, you have to have an awareness of how your teammates are feeling. Because if Joe hasn't gotten the ball in 3 possessions, you got to give this dude a touch. And if Joe makes a turnover, you don't yell at him. You say, dude, I like what you were thinking there. Dude, you got it next time. I need you to shoot that again. If Joe misses a shot, I need you to take that shot again. Yeah. Right? So me being an athlete in general and that team mentality, dude, that's why I'm the leader. I'm the coach of my team.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that approach.
Yeah.
Right, you don't start yelling at people because that's counterproductive.
What?
And no one wants that,
dude,
in their life.
No one wants that. They want to be encouraged, and people are different. People react differently.
Absolutely.
You have to have a level of awareness as a business owner and as an athlete.
No, I agree. That's cool.
Yeah.
I won't get into coaches, though. I know I coached, and I was always kind of laid back as a coach and just let kids, they were younger. But when you're in high school, or in your case, prep school, college, I'm sure some coaches were pretty intense.
Yeah, it really depended honestly on the coach's personality.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure.
Are you going to follow the Super Bowl at all? Football fan?
No. Football guy. No.
Yeah.
All right. Too many head injuries. It's a savage sport.
So do you foresee any government regulation with wholesaling in the future?
Definitely. It's already happening all over the place.
Yeah.
No, but who's initiating it, though? Like, what's the deal? I don't get it. Like, who wants to put a kibosh on it?
I don't know if it's the government, the legislatures. I have no idea. But I know for sure, it's really nice being a part of that collective genius, because I got guys in South Carolina and Georgia and Pennsylvania and all over the place who are like, this is what's happening in my state, and this is how to prepare for it. A lot of times, you can't market the title unless you have ownership over the title. You need a broker's license to assign contracts. That's what wholesaling is. It's an assignment of contract. So I can imagine in a year, 2 years, 3 years, you will not be allowed to assign contracts anywhere unless you have a license, maybe.
Right. Yeah. I mean, like, I know with like lenders in the real estate space, they were some regulation with commission caps and stuff happened. And as a real estate agent, I kind of feel like that might happen. And they already started with the way buyer agencies get paid and all that. And that's why it led me to the wholesaling question, because, you know, I feel like if some people just like to disrupt things, but you have to be able to adapt, right? You can't just let that stop you and quit because you can't adjust and pivot to something that's coming your way.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you guys think about wholesale?
I love it. I think that I like the freedom involved. I like trying to help people. You know, like if I could help them out of a situation. Like I said, my son's involved, and no, I think it's cool. I think that's more my my personality as opposed to an agent. I'm an agent.
Yeah.
I think, you know, I like it. I think it's cool.
Yeah, and I think you have to come at it from the right direction, which is like Beth's point of view: solution, care, solving an issue. Doing it that way, I think, is great. But I'm sure there's, in every industry, whether you're a teacher, police, fire, there's always a bad egg in the industry that puts a bad name on you.
Yeah.
So I think, you know, coming at it from a point of view is I'm here to help you. If you want my help, here's what I can do for you, seller. But, you know, if you don't want my help, that's fine. There's other people that might be able to help you better. But here's what I'm willing to offer you. And if they accept it, great. You know, that's
Absolutely,
my take on it,
I mean, there's going to be bad people in any industry,
Right.
like you said. We'll deal with some deals, and now we do such a high volume. We see this on a monthly basis, but we might have a seller who we need to get 15 grand to, right? Give 15 grand to, find them somewhere to go, and then move all their stuff out for them, and then house their tenant somewhere. Like these,
Right.
I'm not seeing agents do
Right.
much of the stuff.
Yeah.
You know what
No,
I mean?
absolutely not.
So there's a very small, like I would say, and this might be wrong, but maybe 5% of all sellers at any time, or 3% might be a wholesale seller. We're talking a very small percentage of sellers.
Right.
Everyone else is selling with an agent,
Right.
Because you want to make the most for your house,
Right.
Which makes lots
And
of
like,
sense.
yeah, and I'm a real estate agent, to be very honest. If a seller came to me and said, hey, I have a house, my daughter's here, she needs the place to go, she can't afford to go, I'm not fronting her rent. I'm not doing that as a realtor. You know,
Why?
it is what it. Why? I just not really sure. Maybe just feel like that's not a thing a typical realtor does. So I've never heard of a realtor doing it in my space. So I just never thought to do that. I'm here to sell your home. That's my goal. If your family all needs help moving out and paying bills to get out, I mean, I'm here to sell your home. That's kind of my realtor point of view. But you're here to solve a solution, and that's where I think the wholesalers have their space.
Yeah. And
Yeah, I
think-
like that. I think that's cool.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because ultimately, you want to help each other in life. Because, you know, heaven isn't just one person; it's a bunch of us. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, 100%.
So I guess the way we can wrap this up is we ask every guest.
Wait.
Oh, you
time
got
out.
something?
Time out.
Yeah.
Can you believe Patino? What's going on?
What's
Guys
going on,
are-
Patino? I didn't know
What
what's
are they,
going on.
like 19-1, 20-1 or something?
Are they really?
Oh my gosh. He's like 75 or something.
What a beast.
No, he's crazy. All right, sorry, that was a digression.
Yeah, I don't know who Patino is.
Rick
He
Pitino.
used to coach PC.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he brought him to the Final Four, right?
Definitely one of the best, or at least well-known
Oh,
coaches of all
forget
time.
it.
So you must love March Madness.
No.
No?
No, dude.
Yeah, I
It's-
can't. I
Yeah,
can't do
I
March
do love
Madness.
March Madness.
Do you love it?
Yeah. I lived through like vicariously. I'm like, I should have worked harder. No, I do love March Madness. I hate the NBA, but I love March Madness.
Why do you hate the NBA? I hear that a lot.
Well, because I think it's entertainment. You know what I mean? I think that it's there's a narrative. I think it's scripted. You know, even this trade recently, I'm like, what? I thought I was dreaming.
What, with Luke and AD?
What? What's that going on? Anyway, so it's too scripted. I think that there's still passion in the. They're not amateur athletes anymore, but you know, because they're getting paid. But I think that just the intensity and then the game, I think, is pure at that level, at the college level. I think it's
There's not as much noise. There's not like, I got to make this much money. I'm coming out and be a free agent. Like, a lot of influences in the NBA.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's up, everyone? So when I'm not podcasting, I'm in real estate. I'm helping people buy homes. And when people buy homes, they got to get a home inspection. So I have someone I like and trust and use and refer to my clients. That's House Doctor Home Inspections. You can find them pretty much anywhere. They cover Connecticut, Mass, and Rhode Island. You can give them a call. Mike will always answer the phone. It's 401-597-0050. That's House Doctor Home Inspections. You can find them on Instagram, Facebook, website, whatever it is. Thanks, Mike, over at House Doctor Home Inspections. Back to the show.
I wanted to ask, like, as far as, did you ever have you go into a deal and you had like low expectations and then you're like, whoa, this really turned out tremendous? Did that ever happen to you?
Absolutely, it happens all the time. My wife went on one in Tiverton last week. Seller calls, he's just looking to sell, wants an easy sale, he wants $450. We know we can't pay that. You know, we can pay, I don't know what she offered him, maybe like $360, something like that, right? She almost canceled the appointment because she's like, CJ, there's no motivation there. The guy wants retail value. We're not retail buyers. But she went. It was a great appointment. Like, they just connected. That's what she does. Like, she just connects with people. And
I disconnect.
she made him an offer. And we always say, hey, listen, in this situation, I'd recommend selling with a realtor. You have no motivation. Like, if you don't have a timeline here, dude, you can get $450 for your house. But we need to make a profit. Like, we can offer you $360. And he goes, you know, I might just take that. $90K less than he wanted originally.
Wow, yeah.
And then the dude signed last night, and he's happy.
Yeah,
he
that's
trusts
awesome.
her, and he just wants to be done with it. He doesn't want walkthroughs and inspections and all this other stuff.
Have you ever walked in on a listing or an appointment, and the guy's got like five properties? You're like, let me see the list, and like, you get that too, or is it usually just the one property?
It depends. That's like, I got a seller in Fall River right now who owns maybe 100 units in Fall River, 6 units and 8 units and 10 units, stuff like that. And you know, I paid him a really high price for one of his 6 units last year because I knew, dude, let me take care of you on this one deal, and now you're going to drip me your properties forever. Do you know what seller financing is? Have you heard of that?
Explain.
So when you don't have a mortgage on it, as a seller, if you don't necessarily want all the cash, you can basically hold a mortgage for a buyer, right? So let's say you agree on a price for $550, then the buyer's going to put down a certain amount, maybe give you $100,000. Let's say you're a seller and I'm a buyer. I give you $100,000 at $550. I owe you $450. You're the bank, and we agree on the terms, and I pay you monthly interest payments. So basically, you step back from the property, you just collect the monthly payments. So that's what I do with this guy because he has no mortgages on any of these homes.
Wow.
And it's a dream for me because I can pay a 7% interest rate. I don't have all these crazy closing costs, and just get one of his properties every quarter until they're all gone.
Wow.
To hold.
Amazing.
To hold them?
To hold them,
Yeah.
because I like to
Yeah.
hold anything that's 5 units or more.
Okay, yeah.
And then I like to wholesale anything 4 units or less.
That's a good formula there.
Have you ever flipped something?
Flip the home?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, hundreds.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Cool.
I don't like it though.
No.
Flipping home stinks. Have you guys done it?
No. I think I saw that in a video. You were talking about that. How that's not one of your, you don't like that as much.
Yeah, I mean, well, it stinks for me compared to wholesaling because essentially I can flip a contract.
You're right.
and
You don't have to work with contractors, and it's the longevity of that too. It might be 5, 6, 7 months.
yeah,
Right.
exactly. And I'm selling my deals to cash buyers, where it's a $5K non-refundable. They're going to close on the deal. Versus, you know what it's like to work with retail buyers. They're going to have an inspection. They're going to be scared if a pipe is burst or if like something small is happening, right?
You don't care about that. You're like, yeah,
Dude.
what happened? I got a new pipe.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Like the stuff that I see on these inspection reports where people get freaked out.
Yeah.
I'm like, thank God I work with investors.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
even like I have a condo in Warwick. The buyer did their inspection, asked for like a $4,000 price reduction because of 3 things. So my seller's like, I'll do half. Then the buyer said, no, we're gonna terminate and back out. So my seller said, fine, we'll just pay the.
And he backed out.
And then he's like, no, I just still want to back out. And it's
Why?
like, what?
He's your
Just-
buyer?
No, he was the buyer. I'm representing the seller. So we lost the buyer, even though we agreed to his first proposal of just taking care of it all because we didn't want to lose him. And he's like, no, I just want to back out. Something changed, cold feet, he found something else. I don't know what it is, but
So can I turn the tables on you guys for a second?
Yeah.
I'm just curious.
yeah.
We'll start with you, Jason. What is your biggest challenge right now that you're dealing with?
My biggest challenge right now I'm dealing with is it's a slow month for the real estate world generating leads and listings. But my burning goal this year, aside from that, is to actually flip my first property. and that's probably my biggest obstacle. I'd like to find it on my own, so finding a property where a seller's willing to give me a discounted price for.
And how are you going about it?
So since January 1st, I've been going on land evidence, pulling the list pens, I think it's called, pendants, seeing the foreclosure notices, people with load modifications happening, putting it in my Excel sheet, and then cold calling, texting, and then I'm going to be sending postcards out.
Nice.
That's kind of what my system is. I can't get myself to door knock yet. Maybe if the end of the year comes and I see it's not happening this way, Jay, we got to pivot and do it. But it's still January, so that I'm trying to build the 200 on the list until I can get the postcards out, because I guess there's that 200. What's going on, everyone? So you already know, right? If I'm not podcasting, I'm in real estate, and I need someone to help my clients get a mortgage, get a house, right? And I got John Dolbec. He's crushing it. He's got a team called a Modern Team over at Primary Residential Mortgage. If you want to get pre-approved and buy your first home, reach out to John Dolbec and his team. Call or text. It's 401-321-4401. That's 401-321-4401. Back to the show. Limit threshold.
And why do you want to get it yourself and not get it from another source?
I'm still going to the other sources like your showings. I'm not doing that, but ideally I'd like to do it myself. I feel like it'd be a little bit less risk with it by getting it at a better price, less risk for me.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But I'm still going to those off-market showings.
Nice.
Like I did send out 3 offers last week. They were all declined, but it's still consistency, so.
Yeah. I mean, if you send out a certain amount a week, it's a numbers game. If you get
Right.
1% accepted, you
Right.
get a lot.
Right.
Nice.
Yeah.
How about you, Robert? What's your biggest challenge?
I don't know. I think you've already actually addressed it. My biggest challenge is consistency, and also so I need to, and I've already done it in my head during this podcast, to choose a method and then to stick with it, even though it may seem like, say, over the course of 3, 4, 5 weeks, it may seem like, oh, this is a waste of time. Hearing from you and other people and other sources, I know that it will bring some fruit if I do that, and so I just have to. So I've got a few things in the pipeline. So I've just had some postcards made, and I'm going to identify so many houses a week and send the postcards to them, but not just once. I'm going to do it, the second, third, fourth time, and then I will pull the list and I will knock on 10 doors and maybe break some windows. No, I mean because when you do that, you like you said, you have to have conversations.
Absolutely.
If you're not having conversations, I'm great at procrastination. Like I can read books. Well, let me do this. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's par for the course because of the lack of experience. But I know that it can be done.
Yeah, the
Absolutely.
consistency is important, right? It's February, so good months went by. I've probably emailed, called, and texted that list I'm generating twice. No one's ever answered yet. I've never had a good conversation. So I could right now get frustrated and just stop doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't, and I'm not going to. But again, consistently, you just have to fight through. It's only been one. It's kind of like, on New Year's Eve, everyone goes to the gym, and then it tapers off.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't let that happen. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Have you guys heard of I forget the exact title of the story, but it's about this dude who's mining for gold. He's trying to find the vein, and I don't know how long he mines for, but then eventually they show an X-ray image, and he's inches away from this crazy vein of gold, and he gives up and he's done. And then he sells the equipment to this dude who knows what he's doing, and he hits it right away. And it's you don't want to be that guy that's this close to the vein and said, this isn't working.
Right. Cool.
No, that's cool. Yeah. No, I've had a few sit downs with people, and we've got certain things on a contract, but then we couldn't sell the property and stuff like that. So I've had those experiences, as far as wholesaling, but I'm very inconsistent. And my son's always like, "Dad, just do it." I'm like, "All right."
Your son's
off.
good. He's hard on him, so it's good.
Just back off.
You seem like someone who would connect really, really, really well with sellers.
No, I do. One of my fortes, because I was a teacher, for so long, is that I have a strong rapport with people.
Yeah.
And I can talk about a lot of stuff,
Yeah.
So no, I enjoy that. I enjoy speaking with people. So that's one of the things that my sons. I have another son, who was involved, and they said, "Dad, that's what just go and talk to people." I'm like, "Okay." After I read this book, after I put that bulletin board on the wall, you know how it goes.
Yeah, no, I get it. I totally get it.
Yeah. But that's cool. Yeah. So.
Let's ask CJ the 3 questions. So you don't live in Rhode Island, I don't think, right?
I do.
Okay, you do. So in Rhode Island, do you drink coffee?
Yeah.
All right, what's the best coffee shop in Rhode Island?
Oh man, that's good. Off the cuff, I gotta go. My favorite coffee is from Cafe Zara.
East Providence.
East Providence.
Good spot.
Oh yeah,
that's a good spot.
I taught right across the street at I had Sacred Heart for 2 years.
Nice.
So I spent like thousands in that cafe.
Did you really? Was it always Cafe Zara for a long time?
Well, it's been around for like 4 years, maybe.
Yeah.
And the owner's really cool.
Owner's cool.
Yeah.
He's like a young guy, right?
Yeah.
I like their what's it called? It's like their like iced coffee. Basically, you know what a black eye is?
No.
A black eye
Americano,
coffee.
right, with water or espresso with water.
It's basically like an Americano with like 3 additional espresso shots.
Oh my god.
It's crazy, but they make an iced one. I forget what it's called, and it's bomb.
All right, what's your favorite Rhode Island restaurant?
I'd probably have to say the Red Dory. I live in Portsmouth, so I'm like in a different Rhode Island.
Yeah.
And it's in Tiverton. It's a dope little like seaside spot. Small, ambiance is awesome. It's 5 minutes from my house, so my wife and I just go sit at the bar and do our thing.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Want to ask him the last one?
Sure. So hypothetically,
Yeah.
so it's a Saturday. You have nothing to do. How do you spend that day?
If I have nothing to do,
Nothing.
all right. I'm actually probably getting coffee from the spot called. You know what? I might have done them dirty. Have you heard of Coastal Roasters?
No.
Yeah, it's in Tiverton.
Okay.
See, I'm gonna show you guys the difference.
Yeah.
I'm getting.
Is that Rhode Island?
Saturday is my cheat day. All right, so I might go there and I'll probably get a coffee and I might even get a donut because they get donuts from like PVD and Need. They get them shipped out there.
I like Need. Need's awesome.
You like Need?
Yeah.
It's good. Then I'll smash a gym workout. I'm obsessed with the gym, so I'll spend like 2.5 hours at the gym.
Do you have a trainer or are you just by yourself?
My trainer's my boy, but we do it virtually. So like he'll update my workouts. I have an Excel sheet on my phone, and I'll just look, and these are my lifts with my weights and all this other stuff.
Are you laser focused in the gym? Are you networking? Are you in your zone?
Nah, bro, I'm zoned.
Yeah,
No way am I networking.
Yeah.
I can't have some guy kill my pump and like,
Yeah.
you know, I'll talk to people.
Do you take pre-workout or?
No.
No.
What are you listening to?
It changes, but I mix between
Counting
pretty.
Crows? No, go ahead.
What is it?
No, Counting Crows. No, go ahead.
What is that? Oh, is that like rock or something?
No, I'm not sure. Go ahead.
I go between pretty hard rock, intense house, and rap. It just depends on the vibe I feel
that's
that
cool.
day.
Rock from what? The 70s or 90s or?
90s. I don't do like yacht rock stuff. You know what yacht rock is? It's like softer, like 70s stuff.
Oh, I like some soft stuff.
But yeah, 90s, 2000s, stuff
cool.
like that.
Guns N' Roses.
Yeah, and then
So that's a 2-hour workout?
2.5. I just love the gym. You
That's
know,
a
being
long
the
time,
sauna
though.
stretch. Yeah. And then probably take a nap on the couch while my wife watches something. That's kind of our vibe. And then we'd go out and dude, I just love the UFC.
Really?
Oh, my
I didn't
son
know that.
loves the UFC, dude.
Dude, I'm obsessed with it.
Yeah, no, my son actually wants to fight this year.
Really?
He trains, yeah. Not UFC, but just maybe a boxing match or something.
That's
I don't
awesome.
know. Yeah.
So watch you as long as the fights are not on at a crazy hour.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I can't do these midnight fights.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite?
My favorite fighter?
Yeah.
That's a good question. Dude, I like Islam Makhachev.
Yeah.
Just like his he's this Dagestani wrestler.
Yeah.
Honestly, just his affect. Like his the guy's funny.
Yeah,
He's got a lot of humor to him.
Do you like Dana White?
I don't dislike
Yeah,
him
yeah.
by any means.
Yeah.
I don't, dude. Honestly, bro, I don't dislike people.
Yeah.
Like
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
I don't
No, that's a
dislike
good thing.
people.
Yeah.
Right,
We all got our own vibe
Right,
going
right.
on.
Absolutely.
I think in the world and in business, people can have a lot of hate for each other. I think a lot of it is just insecurity. And like, I've noticed that people really never hate down. They
Hate up.
hate up.
True.
They
Wow.
hate up.
Yeah, I never thought of that.
Only
Yeah,
hate
yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Right?
That's why they're always like this. Keep going.
I'm just like, dude, if you just focus on yourself
Yeah, right.
and not
Just-
worry about people,
Just go knock on 10 doors.
dude,
You know what I mean?
yeah, just go not.
Yeah. All right, cool, CJ. Thanks for coming on the podcast.
Absolutely.
All right. Very good. Awesome.